the city of Chicago, one cold, dark night, the blizzard was setting in. The little boy was on the street corner trying to sell newspapers. But it was so cold, people were rushing by, trying to get home to their warm homes. The little boy wasn't selling any papers. He walked up to a policeman and he said, "Excuse me, mister, you wouldn't happen to know where a cold boy could get a warm place to sleep tonight, would you?" He said, "You see, I sleep in a box up around the corner there, down the alley, and it sure gets cold in there at night. I sure could use a warm place to sleep." So the policeman said, "You see that White House down the street? You just go down there and knock on the door, and when someone answers, you say John 3:16, and then let you in." So he did. He walked up the steps and he knocked on the door, and finally a lady came to the door. And he said, "John 3:16. And she said, "Come on in, son." And she took him and she put him in a split bottom rocker in front of a great big old fireplace. And then she left. And he rocked there for a while and he thought to himself, "My, John 3:16. I don't understand it, but it sure makes a cold boy warm." So she comes back in and she asked him, "Are you hungry?" And he said, "Well, maybe just a little. I haven't eaten in a couple of days, and I guess I could use a little bit of food." So she takes him into the kitchen to a table just full of nice food. He eats until he can't eat anymore. And he thought to himself, "My, John 3:16. I don't understand it, but it sure makes a hungry boy full." When he's finished, she comes and takes him upstairs to a bathtub full of warm water. And as he's laying there soaking, he thinks to himself, "John 3:16. I don't understand it, but it sure makes a dirty boy clean. I've not had a bath, I don't guess, in my whole life. I guess the closest I came is when I stood in front of the big fire hydrants and they flushed them out." But when he dried off, she came and took him and put him in a big old feather bed and pulled the covers up under his chin, kissed him goodnight, turned out the lights. And he was laying there, and he could see out the window, snow coming down. It was so cold outside. And he thought to himself, "John 3:16. I don't understand it, but it sure makes a tired boy rested." The next morning she came and got him, and she took him back down to that same table full of food. And after he had eaten, she took him to that same split bottom rocker in front of the fireplace. And she went and got her Bible and she sat down at his feet. And she said, "Do you understand John 3:16? And he said, "No, ma'am, I don't. First time I ever heard it is when the policeman told me to use it last night." So she opened her Bible to John 3:16. And she began to explain to him about Jesus. And right there in front of that great big old fireplace, he gave his heart and his life to Jesus. And he thought to himself, "My, John 3:16. I don't understand it, but it sure makes a lost boy feel saved." And I've got to confess, I don't know that I understand it either. How God could send his only son to die for me. And how Jesus would agree to do such a wonderful thing. No, I don't understand it either. But it sure makes this old lost boy saved. Amazing grace.